Hello everyone, this is the video of legal studies and this is the part third and the last video of the topic law and introduction. In the first video, as we remember, we have discussed about the introduction of law, meaning of law, importance of the law, and in the second part I have discussed the definitions of law, characteristics of law, functions of law and sources of law. So we have understand so many things by the time about the law. So in this video I will be discussing the remaining topic. Those are law systems or legal systems, classification of law and the scope of law. So there are three topics yet to discuss. So let's begin with the law system. What is the law system is? Law system basically talking about the kind of system into which we are living. The kind of judiciary, the way judiciary performs, modus operandi, the way law is evolved, that is also included. So it's a whole setup of a legal system in which a country functions, so that is known as legal system. But approaches is different under that system to run that system. So based on that approaches we have three legal systems. Basically we have two, but third one added, and that is also equally valid. It's not like that is something like auxiliary, not at all. That is equally valid. Let's check it out. The first one is, as you can see here, the common legal system. The second one is civil legal system, and the third one is the religious legal system. Likewise, we have three legal systems. In order to understand these legal systems, we have to check out the maps basically. Starting with the common legal system, you can check here on the screen that what are the countries that follow the common legal system. The highlighted countries follow the common legal system. Anyway, those are the countries that follow the common legal system, but in order to understand that, we also need to understand what is common legal system. Common legal system basically or largely talking about the kind of legal practices that is essentially influenced with the judicial customs. So what are the things, what are the basically the precedents, that is talking about the judicial decisions, the judgments and all, those are over period in time become the law, and that forms the legal system. So that is the common legal system. Even our country, you can see that it is highlighted because has the common legal system. Starting with the Britain, you can see in the Europe, eastern side of Europe, Britain highlighted one. Okay, so Britain, what are the countries where it ruled? Most of them have the common legal system. Okay, most of them. You can see North America, Australia, New Zealand, even many of the countries in Africa. So it is talking about those countries which were colonies of the UK. So all of them have the common legal system. Now let's discuss the civil legal system. As you can see on the screen that again I am representing it with the map so that you can understand better. So civil legal system, first understand what it is. Civil legal system, it's not a new thing, I tell you. It's centuries old, starting with the beginning as civilization started. So the legal system, the laws, the guidelines which are codified in order to govern the people, society, that is known as civil law system. So here the law is codified. Even judges follow those codified laws. Okay, in the common legal system we don't have any such codified concept, though in India you can find so many laws are codified. So we have largely mixed kind of things, but in the civil legal system the laws are essentially codified. Okay, and the examples, as you can see on the map, that is many of the European countries, Latin American countries, those countries follow the civil legal system, means they have the majority of laws and regulations which are codified. Okay, so that is civil legal system. Now come on the third legal system, that is religious legal system. Again, it's the same concept. The countries that follow the legal system which is influenced with the religious rules and guidelines, so that is known as religious legal system. So you can check out the countries. What are the countries that follow the religious legal system? All the northern African countries, Arab countries, okay, and in the Europe you can see the Denmark, and since Greenland is the colony of Denmark, so it is also highlighted with blue color. So these are the countries that have religious legal system. And again there is categorization. You can see the different colors. So green color countries that you can see here reflecting the Buddhism, the blue color reflecting the Christianity, and the deep red color, that is not exactly red but it's a deep, that is reflecting the Islamic religious country. So this is all about the legal system that we have. Likewise, three legal system: common, civil and religious legal system, practiced in different countries of this world. Now come to the next topic, that is classification of law. Law is again classified on different bases. It hasn't any one classification, rather it is classified on different bases. As you can see on the screen, this diagram that reflecting the different categories of law. The first one, as you can see, based on nature of law, it is descriptive and prescriptive, two types. The second one is based on functional property of law. On this basis, there are again two categories: substantive law and procedural law. Third one is based on subject matter. Based on this, we have the public law and private law. And again, we have the international law and the municipal law, though that is not mentioned here, but that is again another classification. So now let's understand what is meaning of basically descriptive law. Descriptive law, as name suggests, it is something like in detail, defined. So in democratic country, we have the descriptive law that describes the rules and regulations and all in detail, and that is applicable on every citizen equally. Next one is prescriptive law. Prescriptive means, as the literal meaning of prescriptive, that is something like prescribed, suggested. So prescriptive law, that is basically not applicable or not as strict as descriptive, and it is not followed in the many of the countries. So that is talking about basically instructions, the guidelines of course, but if you do not follow, there won't be any sanction, enforcement or punishment like that. See, in India, the example you can see that on the packet of cigarette, it is mentioned as smoking is injurious to health. You can see there. Smoking is injurious to health, but still it is allowed to sell, to smoke, isn't it? So if you caught smoking, the police not arrest you, okay, and even the person who is selling, even police won't arrest that person. So it is prescription, prescribed, okay. So if you follow or don't follow, it is up to your sense, your intellect, your understanding, your need, how you behave, okay. So that is prescriptive law. Now The second category, that is based on functional property, we have two: substantive law and procedural law. Substantive law, what does it mean? That substantive law means the law, the instructions, the guidelines that define your rights, your freedom, the crime and the punishment. All these things defined, and as the term suggests, it is static in nature. It defines this is the crime, and if you do that, it would be the punishment of that. Okay, but how that punishment will be executed, basically talking about the procedure, that substantive law doesn't mention. Then which law mentions that? That is procedural law. As name suggests, it talks about the procedure, how judiciary works. You can take the example. If someone murders someone, then how court trial goes on? What are the things? What are the requirements, documents, eyewitnesses? Okay, so all these things comes under the procedural law because it talks about the procedure. So example of substantive law, you can say Indian Penal Code, that is defining the all sorts of crime and the subsequent punishment. And the example of procedural law, that is Criminal Procedure Code, defining the procedure. And the another example, that is CPC, Civil Procedure Code, that defines the filing the case and all, and jurisdictions, that is to deal with the particular cases kind of thing. So everything defined and related to procedure, that is known as procedural law. Okay, the next one that we have based on subject matters, that is the public law and private law. So public law, that is applicable across the country to everyone, irrespective of caste, religion. Okay, so it doesn't bar based on such kind of things. That is public law. And the example of public law, of course, the topmost is constitutional law. Okay, and the another one, administrative law, criminal law, because if you commit the crime, irrespective of your religion, caste and all, you will be punished accordingly. But there is private law as well, that governs individual community, not the people at large. As under the public law, I said it is equally applicable to each one of the person of this country. Okay, but private law, it's not like that. It basically governs the individuals, community, society, religious group, you can say like that. For example, contract law. So see, this is the private law because you have the freedom to make the contract and to make the terms and conditions based on that, and that will be followed accordingly. So that is the one of the examples of private law. Property law, again, because Muslim religion has different property law, Hindu religion has different property law, so it is private law. Tort law, family law, the marriages and all, you know that. So this is all about the classification of the law. Now we have the last topic, that is a scope of law. Very interesting, especially for the law students, because in order to set up the career in the legal field, you should understand what are the scopes where you can make your career, because the law has dozens of scopes. Accordingly, or basically based on your interest, you can choose. So as you can see here, this diagram, it is very nicely designed. The first one is advocate, talking about the litigation kind of things, of course. So, and that is the thing that everyone knows about that. Scope of law, you can become an advocate, you can go to the court, practice the law. The second one is judicial magistrate in the judicial system. The third one is legal advisor. You can remain independent practitioner, means you can remain or work as an independent person and can advise to other people and take charges of that. That is legal advising kind of thing. Next one is law professor, so you can enter in teaching field. Next one is counsel of company, firm, so legal advisor of any company or firm, you can join like that. Next one, author. Author means you can also write down the book and all on the legal topic, and there are so many types of writing in the legal field as well. As you start reading the things, knowing the things, you will start knowing all these aspects as well. Next one is judge. Well, now you might have the confusion regarding the judicial magistrate and judge, because I use that term there and here as well 2 times, but it comes at 2 places. That's why judicial magistrate is the kind of thing that for which basically you need to pass the exam and then you can become the judicial magistrate. So there is defined basically written exam, oral and all. For the judges, district court judges, additional district court judge and all, there is also exam and interview. But after that, for the high court and Supreme Court exclusively, there is no exam. Judges or justice basically in the Supreme Court or in the High Court, they are appointed. Okay, so there are different criteria of that, of course we will discuss that, but they are appointed, keep in mind. Okay, so these are the most important scopes of law. Apart from this, it's not like it is limited to this only. Apart from this, there are so many kind of works that you can do after your legal course. So don't worry on the career perspective, because you have a lot. So primarily focus on the subject matter, whatever we have discussed till now, so many things regarding the law. We have discussed everything, better to say, the law. So I repeat, watch these 3 videos again and again. See you in next video.